David, I understand that Toronto is taken by Swifty Mania. Is that what that is? I only remember Taylor Swift when like she was 15 and opening for George Strait. I don't know the new Taylor Swift, and frankly, I don't care.
It's astonishing. She's here for 6 shows. I'm holding up the Toronto Sun. Every newspaper has her on the front page today, Sheila. They've literally shut down streets for Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift had a motorcade like she's a head of state. They shut down the Gardiner as if we need more gridlock in Toronto. Thanks, Taylor. Yeah, look at that picture, eh? Oh, my goodness. Look at this.
I would be absolutely livid off the rev limiter, like just murderous if I had to wait for Taylor Swift's motorcade to come by.
And you know what, Sheila? Not that I'm the target demographic. I do not get Taylor Swift.
I don't get it. I don't get
just
it
as
either.
much as I do not get Drake.
Again, maybe I'm too old. Maybe I'm too in my Conway Twitty era. but I don't get it.
No, Sheila, I reject that argument because some whippersnapper said to me, oh, you know what? If you were your age back in the 60s when the Beatles broke out, you'd be going, I don't get this bug music. No, I know I would have loved the Beatles as a 60-year-old person in the 60s as opposed to a 9-year-old person. But beauty, I guess music like beauty, it's subjective. She's pretty. Well, a little too skinny in my books, but I don't get it. And Sheila, a true story, I'm not making this up. You can ask Lady Menzoid. Last Christmas time, we're driving along. We had the Christmas music channel, and there was it might have been Jingle Bell Rock. I don't quote me, but it was someone singing it. And I looked at Lady Menzoid. I go, this is awful. This sounds like karaoke. And I looked at the digital readout. It was Taylor Swift, right? I mean, and I'm not doing this for shtick. It's just that it's not that I don't get it, but the songs I've heard, they're not even good. I don't understand the phenomenon. And let me ask you this, Sheila. A few weeks ago, I looked at the ticket inventory of the 6 shows. I believe 5% of the tickets were still remaining. The top ticket, Sheila, $21,000. So a pair of tickets for 3 hours of Taylor Swift. Do you want that for $42,000, or would you prefer a nicely appointed, brand new Honda Civic off the lot? What's your choice, Sheila? I'm taking the wheels.
Can I get a used Dodge Ram? Does it have to be a Honda Civic?
Well, I'm just giving but anything that's
I know what you mean.
Anything that's
definitely no.
But you know what the point I'm getting at, Sheila? I wonder how many parents or grandparents, what have you, are being extorted by the Swifties in terms of having a meltdown, in terms of having temper tantrums. Judy's going to the concert. Why not me? Well, honey, we found out that 2 of the cheapest tickets are like $18,000. I don't care. Give me, right?
Yeah. Like, you know what? Again, I'm like in my mid 40s. I'm approaching my mid to high 40s. And look, for example, I love Colter Wall, Brad Wall's son. And he's one of my favorite artists, but I would have a tough time taking free tickets to go out if it was after 9:00. You know what I mean? Like this doesn't.
I'm with you.
This is not it for me. I don't know. I don't understand the cultural phenomena of being a Swiftie, but apparently the Toronto police chief does. Myron Demkew, known for doing nothing about Hamas gangs.
Yep.
He's doing a lot about Swifties.
Oh, yeah.
He says even the police horses are Swifties. I suppose we should be grateful they're not tromping on people at barbecue restaurants right now.
And you know what the perverse irony of this is, Sheila? Is that the Sky Dome, the acoustics are dreadful. I have seen 2 concerts, both with Lady Menzoid at the Sky Dome, U2 and Madonna. And the Madonna one was really extra special. Oh, no, Sheila, the Madonna concert...
Is this like Madonna now, where it's like where she looks like a boiled egg?
No, 1991, I believe.
Egg. I said she looked like a pickled egg one time. It's just really smooth, alien-shaped face, just awful.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
No, I don't know if you know this story, Sheila. I think it was 1991, early 90s for sure. Madonna was playing 2 shows at the Sky Dome, sold out. And the first show, we had tickets for the second show, and I'm glad we did, because what happened, and it shows you how morality has changed from the early 90s to the years we live in today. And she did her signature song, Like a Virgin, but to a slow beat, and the set piece was a bedroom. And she's lying down as she sings, and she is, I'm trying to, be careful with my language, she is simulating self-pleasure. Well, yeah. Sheila, the media went ballistic, so much so that 2 police officers were there for the second show, first row, with their notepads out, right, to see if she was going to break the indecency laws. Could you imagine what they were writing in their notebooks? Miss Madonna appears to be gyrating. Miss Madonna appears to be putting her hand below her waist.
Stop.
Like, can you imagine?
I don't know. It's a different time. I forget who it was. When like Florida had their indecency law, and they tried to censor rap, and I just think and I'm anti-censorship, but boy, what has society become in like 30 years, where now we've got Cardi B singing horrible things that just makes my ears feel nauseous, listening to some of her lyrics. But again, that's why I'm Conway Twitty. That's as frisky as I get. Barbara Mandrell, that's where I'm at. Give me some Dolly, some Merle, and play me some hurtin' music. I don't need any of this stuff. But
Sheila, that is indeed my point. Back then, the pantomime of doing that act was a cause celeb and potentially something that might result in criminal charges. Today, I would argue at a concert, somebody could really do that act and it would be, freedom of expression.
It does happen. It does happen. It does happen at some of these more ridiculous people's shows.
Are you serious?
Yes. And anyways, we should keep moving on this because, of course, Justin Trudeau weighed in. He says, we're ready for you, Taylor Swift. Good choice wrapping the Eras Tour in Canada. Has this always been your end game? Toronto and Vancouver. Ugh.
You know what, Sheila? I don't think I've ever done this, but I'm going to pitch an assignment to you live on air. And it's this. She's here for 6 shows. I want to go down with one of our super duper cameramen and do streeters with the Swifties. And to make it a Rebel News story, it's got to have a political angle. And I think the question is this. Are you upset that Americans did not listen to Taylor Swift and they voted for Donald Trump as opposed to Kamala Harris? What do you think about that?
This feels like a reignition of Generation Trudeau. Right? Yeah, okay, let's do it. Sure.
Okay. And here's a question too, because it's sort of off our base, but I'm just going to throw it out there. Who's better, Taylor Swift or the Beatles? How do you think the voting's going to go?
They won't know who the Beatles are, so just stop. You may as well ask them, like, what their favorite talkie movie is. Like, they're not going to know anything about that.
They should know.
No, they don't. We have a couple more things to get through, and then we have to take an ad break. I know Olivia or Efron has mentioned to me, I don't know who's using the studio account, but City of Toronto, they're trying to clean the place up for Taylor Swift. You see, they couldn't do it for public safety. They couldn't do it so that kids don't have to worry about needles at the park. They couldn't do it so that you don't have to worry about being accosted by meth zombies as you walk on the streets. None of that stuff. They couldn't do it for hygiene, public safety, the human dignity of the people suffering in these homeless encampments and meth camps. They couldn't clean it up for those reasons. But Taylor's coming, you guys. Tay-Tay's coming, and we have to clean up the joint. So now they're clearing out the homeless encampments. I guess there is no political will, but there is like a will to impress a celebrity as Toronto descends into social decay. They couldn't do it for Torontonians. That's my point. They did it for Tay-Tay.
Yeah, and not only that, Sheila, I mean, they did the right thing for the wrong reason, but our friend Joe Warmington at the Toronto Sun did indeed report that that motorcade, that shutting down the Gardiner, that ain't coming out of Swifty's pocketbook. Oh, no,
would be livid.
All you schleppers out there, you're paying for the great Khaleesi to come in unimpeded by Toronto traffic. I got to say, that was probably a smart move by the city, Sheila, because if Taylor Swift ever had to see the horror of commuting in Toronto, she'd never come back here. In fact, there was an artist just months ago, I can't remember his name. He was going to be late for his own show at Scotiabank Arena, Sheila. He had to get out of his car and jog, which was actually faster than being in a vehicle, in order to make his own show. And he's the performer. So maybe the city didn't want that egg on their face again.
Right, but she can pay for it. She's a gajillionaire.
Yeah.
If I'm going to sit in Taylor Swift-induced traffic catastrophes, she can damn well pay for it. That's all I have to say.
Oh, hi, it's Ezra Levant here in Toronto with an important message because we need your help. Independent journalism in Canada is under attack. Government censors, big tech deplatformers, and the dying legacy media are all working together to maintain exclusive control on the information you receive. They don't want you to hear other voices like ours, and they really don't want you to be informed and to think for yourself. That's why the work we do here at Rebel News is so important. Our on-the-ground reporting, independent news shows, and special content you won't find anywhere else. It's all designed to give you trustworthy information and alternative viewpoints so you can decide for yourself. We don't get government money, and we are not owned by some big global conglomerate. We're funded by people just like you, so please support independent journalism and help us continue our work by subscribing and becoming a Rebel News Plus member today, right here on the page. Go to rebelnewsplus.com. Members get instant access to all of our shows, invitations to exclusive events, and access to our premium content like live event footage and documentaries you won't see anywhere else. Only Rebel News Plus members can join the conversation by participating in the comments section of our new website. That way you can have your say too. More than anything, though, you'll be able to take pride in supporting real, honest journalism